Now, for more on this, we speak now to the NUMSA spokesperson, Phakamile Hlubi-Majola. Good afternoon, Phakamile. Thank you for joining us. Let's first speak about the Gautrain negotiations. One of the contentious issues were that management wanted to take away the Gautrain staff cards. Why was this so important to fight for? As I understand, agreement on other issues were already reached.
Good afternoon, and thank you so much for having me on your channel. Yes, the issue of the staff cards was a really big issue for members of NUMSA. You must understand that workers at Gautrain, their job is to work on the train. And we thought it was bizarre that a transportation company whose employees work on that form of public transportation are now being expected to pay to go to work utilizing the very same transportation. For us, already that was a bizarre and ridiculous demand from management of Gautrain, particularly because these workers are not on a joyride. They're going to work, and their tool for work is the Gautrain. Some of them are maintenance people, some of them are office workers whose sole responsibility is the proper maintenance and running of the train. And for those who use the Gautrain regularly, you know that this is not a form of transportation which is cheap. It's not easily accessible to ordinary members of the working class. And so the fact that workers were now suddenly being told by management that they would have to pay to use the train to come to work, that became a huge issue. In fact, to the extent where last week Friday, our members balloted for a strike over this issue. So we really welcome the fact that management of Gautrain came to their senses and realized that this issue was going to result in a complete shutdown of the operations of Gautrain, and they took that demand off the table. Now workers are able to use the staff card as they've been using it in the past, which is for them to be able to go to work and come back from work so that they can actually fulfill their daily duties.
Phakamile, let's talk about Bell Equipment. I hear that there's also plans for a strike there at the Richards Bay plant, as well as at the head office in Boksburg.
Yes, so we have deadlocked with Bell Equipment at the moment. We unfortunately are completely deadlocked and now on the verge of a strike at all its operations. What is at the heart of this dispute is the fact that Bell Equipment management Bell Equipment as a company performed extremely well in the last financial year. They were even able to pay out very, very healthy bonuses to their shareholders. And in fact, what the CEO then did was also to share some of the profits with workers. But the problem is that he didn't share the profits with all workers. The profit sharing was simply for management as well as office workers. It did not trickle down to the production workers, the guys who are actually responsible for the performance of Bell Equipment, which, as you know, manufactures earth-moving equipment. So the fact that this decision was taken by management created a huge issue for workers at Bell Equipment, specifically NUMSA members, and we are now deadlocked and on the verge of a strike. That plus the fact that Bell Equipment offers nothing in the form of housing allowance, offers nothing in the form of transportation allowance, when other companies of similar size are offering those things, have now become burning issues. So we are currently engaged in conciliation under the auspices of the Metals Engineering Industries Bargaining Council. That conciliation has actually been extended. They've requested an extension by another month because we really are trying to find one another. We think that we can negotiate around some of these issues in order to prevent a total strike.
So, Phakamile, just shortly, when in your previous story you spoke about above inflation increase at Gautrain, you're also asking, for a fair share, a profit share at Bell Equipment. We are in these tough economic times. I have to ask you this, where does this leave your members and a union like yourselves to give a fair increase to both your members, but also fair to these companies?
Well, I think we must be clear about who's being dealt with unfairly here. Workers are the ones who are being shafted. Workers are the ones who are being treated unfairly. It's a fact that BEL equipment performed extremely well. There is absolutely no